So real quick here, I just wanted to show you guys the very obvious and terrible fix that they did for the Warhound convoy. As you can see, they just appear out of thin air. It's pretty stupid. I mean, it just reminds me of West Side Piers from the original Division, and that's not a good feeling. But I mean, it just feels terrible. I mean, I know I addressed this in the last video, but I didn't actually get them just appearing like this on the footage. This time I did. I went back and actually got it, and man, does it look, it looks terrible. They just, and then one guy's floating in the air. Like, he didn't even spawn on the actual ground. It's terrible. I mean, it's stupid. And really, they didn't actually fix the experience point issue. And basically, if you guys didn't know, for some reason, the Warhound convoy gets a double bonus from your directives. So what happens is basically you end up doubling it twice, which means you know, let's say if you get 100,000 experience, you know, and you put on 100%, you would get 200,000. But then it takes that 200,000 and applies it again, so you end up getting 400,000. I'm pretty sure that's an error, but it could also just be a UI issue where the actual event is not listing the correct amount of XP. So I don't actually know if this is, you know, intentional or not. I mean, it's been with us for a while. This isn't a new issue, and I figured if it wasn't intentional, they probably would have changed it already. You know, it's kind of obvious. Who knows? But this brings me to the main point of the video. What can you do now since the Warhound is kind of broken, or at least just stupid, you know, especially you can't even really respawn it? Well, the answer to that is pretty much the same thing that I've seen for a while now, and that's just doing regular moving patrols or convoys. And these have the exact same benefits that the Warhounds do. Any of these moving events get this kind of increased bonus. I'm not sure if that's true for the giant drone, but for the resources convoy and for the elite patrols, this does work. Basically, it does the same thing. It doubles that XP twice, so you get the bigger bonus. Now, I'm doing this on hard because for a solo player, it's just much more efficient. I mean, you can kill enemies a lot easier, and you don't really have to worry about dying as much because obviously you're just trying to speed through it as fast as possible, so you don't really want to have, you know, a lot of downtime with dying, and you don't really want to have a lot of downtime with constantly having to actually reload your map over and over again to hopefully get lucky. So, I mean, as you can see, I can pretty much just wipe the floor with the AI, and if you actually want to know what build I'm using, it's pretty much my pistol build that I released like a week or two ago. And the only real difference with the build is that I'm using M45 with salvage on it. So I get that 70% chance of reloading my magazine whenever I get a kill. And since it's on hard, I'm pretty much guaranteed to at least get 2 kills per magazine if I'm actually accurate. If I'm spraying and praying, yeah, I might you know, F that up a little bit. But generally speaking, keep firing my pistol, and since I'm doing so much damage, you know, if I actually catch them coming out of a spawn point, which they did not fix. I mean, most of the groups still come out of a single spawn point, and that is it. Like you can see here, out of this truck, they just come out of one single spawn point, and I just keep unloading on them. And I mean, it's just, yeah, they didn't really fix anything. So that's good for you if you just want to farm experience and really don't care about gear, because I mean, obviously it's on hard, so your gear is not going to be the greatest. I don't really care about getting anything anymore, so only thing I really have to work for is getting experience. But I'd rather, you know, do it in a more fun manner, I guess. Not that really anything's fun, but either way, I'm not really wholeheartedly just farming this stuff. Now, that being said, when I did do the Warhound farm, I did it for about an hour, and I think it got, you know, somewhere around like 30 levels with a 4-man group on heroic difficulty. And the biggest limitation with doing the Warhound thing, at least in my opinion, was just the constant reloading. I mean, I only got it during that hour. I think I ended up getting the convoy to spawn in the right spot about twice. So it is definitely, you know, so it was definitely not the fastest all the time. I mean, it was incredibly slow if you did not actually get lucky and get the convoy to spawn in the right spot. This one, you literally just look for a patrol near an area you can teleport to, and then you cut them off. That's it. So doing it solo on hard, I pretty much got about 20 levels in about an hour. So yes, that is not as fast as doing it in a team on heroic for the Warhound. But That's not to say you can't do this on a 4-man team with heroic. You definitely could. And I would say this has the potential to actually be faster because you don't need to sit there in one of the safe houses just reloading over and over and over again and hoping that you get something. Now I know there's, some people that did like the 16-man groups, but I don't believe that everyone in that 16-man group got it. Generally speaking, the people that loaded the fastest were the ones that got into the group, right? So some people were left in the dust, right? Some people were left out in the cold. This pretty much guarantees that you're not going to be, at a disadvantage. You're going to farm with your 3 other friends or by yourself, or, you can farm with 2, and you can basically just do the exact same thing, except without having to worry about all the hassle that came with it. It's the same basic concept. But if you are a primarily solo player, if you don't have a lot of time to actually play this game, if you just want to get your shade level up so you can, attempt higher difficulty content, maybe, you can't get through challenging by yourself and you think, if you get max shade, you'll be able to do it. This is pretty much, there to help you. I don't really think this is a cheese. I don't think this is a glitch. I mean, you are going through, fighting these patrols, and, you're basically playing the game. But that's all I wanted to say. I hope you guys get some benefit out of this if you actually need this. And thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.